y'all, and welcome to the Crazy Sock Lady YouTube channel. My name is Kay, and this is my channel where I chat about all of my knitting, crocheting, crafting adventures. So this video today is a February roundup from the StashBusters KAL. First, if you're new to this channel, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as the Crazy Sock Lady, and there will be links down below to everywhere that you can find me. And this video, like I said, is a roundup for the February StashBusters KAL for the stats. I'm going to share the stats from the finished objects thread as well as my personal stats. And the StashBusters KAL, if this is your first time coming across this, it is a knit along that I am co-hosting with Julie of Twin Stitches Designs podcast. And basically the idea is to use your stash. So I have a video here on YouTube that goes into detail about all of the rules and all of that for the knit along. So I will link that down below. All of the rules are over in the chatter thread in my group, and I have threads in my group, and then Julie has them in her group. All the links will be below for you guys. So the stats for February, I went through this morning to take a peek, and the KAL is going awesome. I am loving seeing everything that you guys are posting in the chatter thread that you're working on, and then the finished objects that you're getting done that are all using your stash yarn. I think this KAL is going amazing. I know it's super inspiring to me to use up some of this gorgeous yarn back here, and I love that so many of you are feeling inspired by it as well. So when I went through this morning, I looked at the post from February 1st to February 29th, and in the finished objects thread, and there were 955 posts in February for this knit along. Now that doesn't mean there were 955 finished objects, because there are ways in the knit along that you can earn extra entries and you can post your finished objects twice. So that is what some of those are, and I didn't go through the 955 and figure out exactly how many finished objects there were, because that would be a little bit insane, but 955 posts. That's crazy. That's an insane amount of posts. And that means there are so many finished objects. KAL is broken up into quarters, and quarter one does end at the end of this month. So we are getting ready to jump into quarter two. Quarter one's theme was socks. That didn't mean you had to do socks, but that was just a way that you could earn an extra entry if you did knit socks. And going into quarter two, be ready to knit some garments if you want an extra entry. Be ready to finish some garments that maybe you already have on your needles. They just have to be started January 1st or after. So get ready to start thinking about maybe what you've started the first of the year and you want to finish to be able to get that extra entry, finish it in quarter two, or something you want to cast on at the beginning of quarter two and finish by the end of quarter two. Personal stats were better than last month. I'm happier with them. So I started February with 338 full skeins of yarn in my stash. I used 3. I had 3 finished objects that used full skeins that I had counted, and those were socks for Wyatt, the pair of socks for my sister. I actually started them in January and then I finished them the first day of February, so they counted towards February. And then my February Desert Vista Dye Work socks. So those were the 3 finished objects from full skeins of stash that I had last month. Then I did add 1 skein. It was not one that I purchased though. So for participating in the Desert Vista Dye Works year-long knit along and doing every month last year, I got the full skein of yarn, the prize skein that she does. So I did add that to my stash. So I used 3, added 1. So that meant I ended February with 336 full skeins of yarn in my stash. So that's good. I didn't buy any yarn. I used more than I added, which is my goal with this, by the way, is not necessarily to never buy yarn this year. It's just to use more out of my stash than I'm putting in my stash. So that was accomplished in February. I am happy with that. The progress I feel like has been slow. I feel like I thought when I started this year and had the mindset that I wanted to use more stash that I would just kind of bust it out, because I do knit fairly fast. I finish a lot of things, but I've been so busy finishing designs that those things don't count towards my stash yarn because they're not necessarily my stash yarn. I'm using yarn that has been sent to me to design with. So those are counting towards the totals that I'm tracking, and it's meant that I haven't been knitting as much from Stash because I've been doing a lot from designing, which is fine. It's super fun and I love it. And I did, like I said, I'm happy with February's stats. I think going into the year, I thought, oh, I'm gonna just work through so much of this yarn. And it's only February. There's still time. But I think that's all I have to share with you for the February stats. I hope that you guys are doing well. You're still enjoying the knit along. Let me know down below how your progress is going. And I will chat with you guys again about the StashBusters KAL stats in April to catch you up on the March stats. Until then, happy stash busting. Bye.